The DOJ-NBI Special Investigation Team has released the second part of its investigation report on the Mamasapano encounter that occurred last January. And Nunez will tell us why.
The Department of Justice released last April the first part of their report on the Mamasapano incident and recommended direct assault with murder and theft charges against 90 suspects who are members of MILF, BIFF, and private armed groups over the death of 35 PNP SAF troopers. Today, the DOJ released the second part of their report. But at this point, the DOJ Special Investigation Team has no recommendation as to who should be charged for the death of 9 commandos of the 84th Seaborne Company that assaulted Marwan's house in Barangay Pidsandawan, Mamasapano, Maguindanao. Justice Secretary Leila de Lima says that while it was clearly proven in the investigation that the SAF commandos were intentionally killed, there are no witnesses who could identify the assailants. She adds it is improper to assume that the members of the MILF, BIFF, and private armies who are already charged for the death of 35 SAF troopers in Barangay Tucanalipao are also liable for the crime. Even the other troopers who are with the 9 commandos killed could not identify the armed men they figured in a firefight.
Wala ho tayong pwedeng makasuhan at this point dahil wala ho talaga nakapag-identify dun sa mga naka-enkwentro nitong 84 Seaborne Commandos doon sa Barangay Pidsandawan nung ginagawa nila yung assault dun sa hut o kinalalagyan ni Marwan.
The panel also recommended no charges against PO2 Christopher Lalan, the lone survivor of the 55th Special Action Company who allegedly killed civilians in a makeshift mosque in Sitio Amilil. De Lima says no bodies were produced and even the MILF did not submit proofs of the civilians supposedly killed by PO2 Lalan. Aside from this, no witness identified PO2 Lalan and none of the relatives of the victims submitted any sworn statement. Even the pictures of the victims are not authenticated.
Ang naging conclusion po ng team, walang corpus delicti and therefore no case can also be filed at this point against PO2 Christopher Lalan. Sinubukan mo talaga uli ng team na kumuha ng konkretong ebidensya tungkol dun sa pagkamatay ng mga civilians na yan doon sa Langgal, pero wala ho talaga silang nakuha.
Meanwhile, the DOJ report confirms the participation of the United States in the Mamasapano operation last January, which was launched to capture terrorist Marwan, though it is only limited to intelligence sharing, technical support, and medical evacuation. The report also confirmed the use of U.S. drones in the operation, but it is not armed and did not conduct airstrikes. It further said that U.S. troops are not involved in the fighting between PNP SAF and members of MILF, BIFF, and private arms.
So walang mga American troops or personnel na involved in actual combat. Merong covert ISR role. ISR is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Merong paggamit ng surveillance aircraft but which were not armed attack planes and did not engage in or conduct air strikes but purely for purposes of monitoring. So, and then yung meron din pong presence of certain American personnel and setting up of monitor at the tactical command post. Pero hanggang dun lang po, hindi po sila talaga yung nag-handle ng operations and therefore wala hong nakikita ang team ng paglabag sa ating saligat batas, sa ating revised penal code and other special penal laws.
With the second and last part of their report, the DOJ special team finally set aside the alleged alternative version of the incident and affirmed that it was the SAF commandos who killed Marwan. Other details of the report are redacted as it involved matters of national security. Ann Nunez reporting for Y News.